Okay, the area I think I want to tackle next, at least initially, is back here in Sharon. And like I said, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the entrance into staging and then all along the back. So what I'm going to do, I bought some, you might have seen them laying around in other videos, some retaining wall. They call them Pennsylvania Railroad retaining wall, but anyway, it's a retaining wall. Different sections, about a foot long each. I'm going to run them in here into that corner and then run them along, all the way along here to right about roughly halfway. You can see I pulled Shorty's Erie Builders out of the way so I can work. I'm going to bring it roughly about halfway. So I keep going over. It's probably going to end right about here. So that, you know, Shorty's building is going to be over there. And then I might have a road sneaking in there if I can figure out a way to make it look like it matches okay. If not, it's pretty much going to be the retaining wall, something, maybe a building with, you know, something that with, I'm thinking a small building here that some over the road kind of shoots through there. Maybe a mirror or something, I don't know. And then all this whole other end's going to be the transformer factory, but I'm not going to get into that yet because I don't know what I'm going to do there. So going back over here, what I think I'm going to do to hide the entrance to staging, I don't want to put a building there. I know that idea was thrown out, and I've actually thought of it myself, you know, have a building here with something going over it. But don't forget, I'm going to try to put a passenger station here. Since I'm backdating, I mean, passenger trains need somewhere to stop. And there's not a whole lot of room. So what I'm thinking, let me see if I can move this in a little bit closer, is do something. This retaining wall will come out a ways and then use a tunnel portal, just a normal Woodland Scenics tunnel portal with another retaining wall. So maybe bring it out back the tunnel, maybe another retaining wall piece here, and then this will all be kind of hill, and I may even bring it up to the bottom of those trees. Maybe even try to cover some of that farm up so it just kind of looks like a rolling, because to me it makes no sense where a cornfield would go to a tunnel portal. That just seems silly. So if I do that and then try to leave enough room in here for the station, you know, I can bring the scenery down, kind of maybe some rock outcroppings along here, and maybe even keep, you know, continue that along this edge over here. So that's my thoughts. Now I did have to do some work to these retaining walls, so let's take a quick jump over to the workshop where I have those, and I'll show you where they look now, or how they look now. Where they look, duh. Alright, so here's the section that's going to come out from the corner out toward that possible tunnel portal. I realize the light here isn't great. Now when these come, these have been, I painted them. And again, they are, alright, they're part number FL4150, 4150 from Scenic Express. Pretty nice. They say they interlock. They don't interlock great. I'm going to have to do some hiding of the joints, but whatever. And I was going to airbrush them because the color they came didn't look good at all to me. But then I got lazy. I was like, I don't want to get the airbrush out and drag it to the garage and yeah. So I just used cans of rattle cans and spray bombed it. Try to get a little, you know, a little bit darker, a little variety. There's some browns and some lighter colors in there. And now what I can do is come back once this dries up with some acrylic washes and weather it. Probably dry brush it. You know, my favorite dry brush with probably Vallejo chalk white to pull out some of the detail on it. And then the rest of it, let me just do this kind of slowly here. I'm actually trying to use them, not a tripod, but a monopod, see if it helps at all. But make things a little bit slower. So this is a vacuum cleaner. Let's clean it up. But this is 6 pieces. That'll be the main run in the back. And I know the lighting here is probably not that great to see what it looks like, but it does look a lot better than I had it before when it originally came. So I'll do some more work on this, let it set up, do some weathering and dry brushing, maybe some washes, you know, put some pipes coming out here and there for drainage. all that kind of fun stuff. Again, I'm not going to go crazy because it is going to be pretty far back. So again, similar to that corner area or that end area, it's not going to be super visible. You want it to look right, blend in, and look, you know, appropriate, but I don't need to go crazy on it, but I can do some stuff to it. So, dun dun dun. All right, well, I got the retaining wall painted, weathered, some washes. I'll show you some more of it later. But right now, as you can see, I have some weights just kind of securing it back against the bottom part of the backdrop there. So hopefully it stays up there. It should. It has some liquid nails, heavy duty behind it there. So we'll come back and look a little bit more at the weathering. It's kind of hard to see now. And then, just for fun over here, this is what I'm thinking. So you see I come out of there to a tunnel portal. A little bit of a step back. And that's really, to be honest, to give me some room if I bring a passenger train out here, so there's a room for a platform from the station. Sorry. And then I'll try to do something to blend it in up top there. Can maybe go back up a little bit farther, a little bit higher to kind of cover that cornfield. I mean, it's not perfect. If I had done it differently, smarter from the beginning, it wouldn't be such a problem. But you know what? I got to do something. I'm sick and tired of hemming around, hauling around. Blah, blah, what do I do? Look, all right, good enough. This will work for me. And then we'll have some, you know, kind of bring it back from here along the backdrop, and hopefully have room for the station in there. It's not great. I have to put a little crossing here because how do you get to the station, right? I mean, people have to get to it, so you need a road for access. All right, so let this set up several hours and then pull it away and we'll get a look at it. I'm definitely gonna have to do some work in certain spots. Here, let me just move this a little bit over because again, these don't join all that perfectly. So as you can see there, it's actually kind of ugly. So I'm gonna have to do something there. You know, either put some like some vines or some foliage, and in some places there'll be some buildings that can block it. And I don't know what I'm going to do there, but we'll get to that in a moment. So, all right. So that's that. Let these lovely weights do their job there and hold that bad boy back. And we'll come back in a little bit when everything's dried up and secured to the backdrop. Alrighty, here we are with the retaining wall installed. Alright, so I don't know what that was. So here it is, it's in. You can see I definitely had to do some work around the various joints. Now I probably could have spent hours and hours and hours and actually worked on them and gotten a much better joint, but although in some cases they're different thicknesses. So anyway, I figure there's going to be other buildings. I'll go back, put some vines and stuff, and I did. Again, I don't think it's even going to show up, but it just seemed to me there should be a railing. I'm not even sure. It's there, trust me. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of at the end of this, like this lot here. Like it comes up close to the wall, so there's a there. Trust me, there is a railing up there. Like, why do I bother? Because no one's even going to see it. All right, so that's that. And I may want to do something in the corner because A, it's a corner, and B, I messed up the backdrop, and C, I'm an idiot, and D, I need to do something. So maybe like some type of building with a smokestack that might help hide that. So yeah, we'll see. All right, and coming around here, I have this in place. This is gluing up right now. You can see I have the tunnel liner. That's going to go in there once it's ready, and then I'm letting this set up a little bit, then we'll get that liner in there. I have a weight sitting there, that's just to make it look like I know what I'm doing. It's not really doing much. I did add a piece in here just for some support for these. This is set in back against, let's go drone in here. So I did put in Some wedged pieces there in the back. Again, just kind of sitting there just for support. More than anything, then we'll have the tunnel liner. One piece going there, and it should cover most of it because you really can only see kind of the way we're looking now. And then we'll blend that into some type of hill action going here, and again, that's probably about where I'll do it. Then over here, I'll bring this up somehow, kind of form it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover that, but we'll see. But it should look okay. And again, the plan is to have the passenger station sitting here. Not a ginormous one, but one. And then hopefully be able to have that for the main line, as well as anything that comes off out of staging off of that line. So I think I can make that work. So that's going to be this scene here. There's a lot of work to do back here on the Sharon industrial area, but I wanted to get this done. I'll probably get this, try to get this area here done, carved the way I want it, the base layer of scenery on it, at least paint it green. But I got some other mats I could use and that kind of stuff, so I'd like to get that along. Okay, here we are. I realized I haven't done a in progress, so I figured I better do that. So here we are. We've gotten pretty much this area here set, and I got the plaster drying up. You can see, again, it's not perfect, I know. But we got the tonal portal in. And I do have a liner in there. I did one of the Woodland Scenics liners. I cast it in low weight hydrocal. It's on this, on the far side here in the back. The other side, you can't even see it, so it's just got a piece of foam that I cut and painted. So that's how it's going to go into staging. And it moseys along here, and then eventually, again right in here, there's going to be a passenger station. And this will be, I'm hoping, it's not too big. I don't think it is. According to the measurement, it should be fine. Then having, platform go back to the back track as well. And did a little retaining wall action. Then, what I decided to do over here, you can see it's all drying up right now, but I think I'd just kind of show quickly what I'm doing here. Let me do this. Do that. So, this is going to be, you can see it better this way. You probably can't even see it at all. I probably should have waited till this stuff's dry. But anyway, oops, sorry about that. Ooh. It's going to be a road coming in here. And then there's a little bit of a rock outcropping there. That's going to be kind of joined with this. I know it's probably all blown out because of the bright white. And then let me just shift down to this end. So up here, I'm going to match the scenery in from around the cornea. Now you can see, to me, I decided not to put that bridge there, only because I kind of like the way this nice wide open curve looks, and to put a bridge would have necessitated scenery, coming up here in the front, and it might kind of block. I think it would have looked fine, but I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm probably going to redo some of this out here. I don't really like it, but anyway. Alright, so, oops, keep kicking the monopod. So, the road's going to come across here, make a sharper light, and then go up, and there's a retaining wall in there, and then right here there'll be a little bit, I don't know, I'll put a gate, but that'll be the access down there, and then along here, as he puts his big fat finger in, boom, back to that little maintenance area that is way up there. So that's what I'm going to do there. I just decided and said I'm going to pull the trigger and do it and get it done. So as soon as this sets up, probably overnight, I'll come in and get the first layer of paint and some ground foam down just for the very first level. Start working on the road. I have some other civil engineering projects going on here. Put another little culvert in there. I'm probably going to put something in the back here. I'm not sure what yet. Back here is kind of the drain that all this water runs here, and then runs through there. And then this will be pretty far along. So, maybe I'll do one more quick update. It won't be finished, but I'll just kind of get the next step, so you can actually see how the road's going to look. And then we will see about getting this update posted. Alright, more to come shortly. Okay, here we are. Got kind of the base layer of scenery on over here from the portal. I still do need to color the rocks. I'll get to that very soon. And as you can see, I started along here. I have the road set. I'm going to get it glued in tonight because I want to get it down. What I'm using is 2mm craft foam. I think I bought it at Hobby Lobby or something like that. I like the way it works. I use it over in the industry in Eugene. And this road's going to be a little bit newer. Like they did some maintenance on it, so it's going to look pretty good. And then it's going to come back. And like I said, right in here, it's going to be a passenger station. So I might change here to a cobblestone parking lot. I don't know why, I just like that. So I might do it. Then down here, see the road comes along. This little bit of civil engineering there is for the signal. Boop. That'll be sitting there. The other one will be on this side, obviously, so these two will be facing this way for trains heading west. Then up here, I do have the crossing somewhat ready to go. I cut some wood. I'm just using some wood, some scale lumber. Cut in there, made sure they're down below the flanges. I do have the piece that goes in there. It's actually sitting, where is it sitting? Oh, it's over there. So that's going to go there. And then I got more of this base. It's kind of dark here, isn't it? Kind of dark. Yes, it is. Over here, and then this is going to be where the road, the railroad road, the access road, comes off the road going back to the station. It's going to come along here and then go along back to that little area there. So that's how I'm going to do that. So that is where it is. Sorry about that. Of course, there will be another signal facing this way for eastbound trains. I'm probably going to put that on this side of the crossing here. That way if they come up and have to stop, they won't block the crossing. So that seems to be the righteous thing to do. So I want to get this moving along some more. See, I did do some additional, I think I mentioned this before, some civil engineering work up here. Put a little drainage piece there. Kind of, like I said, I added some curbing around it, just kind of direct it so it doesn't flood the road. That kind of catches the wash off of that hill in the parking lot, and then it runs underneath. It comes out this little tiny little thing right here. So I also got this piece of fascia in here, and I also did so I also got this piece in here along there, and this big piece there. And as you can see, these are my plans for this end here. I do something with a little tiny little tunnel there. So I want to get that moving along so I can get this retaining wall in, this all in, that retaining wall in, cut this to the right slope and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, a lot more to go. I didn't do a whole lot more back. Oh, I threw up some vines and climby stuff. I don't know if it looks right or not, just because it's kind of silly when you have every foot you have. So I tried to break it up a little bit and add some more in, and add some growing across the top. And like I said, I don't think it'd be a huge deal. You can't even really see the one over here, so I might just leave it alone. Because once you get some more buildings, and once I get the the major industries sitting back there, I think it'll look fine. So, all right, little in progress. Actually, I just realized I didn't do any in progress on this tunnel. I was just so busy working. Oops. Well, it's just a tunnel. So what I did, I decided on this end of Sharon, this is the east end of Sharon, and to kind of make it kind of like a little scene, you know, scenic divider or something like that. Put this tunnel in here to kind of give it a visual break. So, and then this is along, obviously, your retaining wall. Again, this will all be building. So the factory buildings will come in here. And there's going to be some oil tanks and kerosene tanks in amongst here for part of the factory as well. But the backdrop there is covered up with the retaining walls. There's a small little hill coming down here. And then I'll see the tunnel here. Not a real long tunnel. It's just something. And the way I did this, and I do apologize again, I got so busy working, I didn't do anything to show the in progress. Anyway, I cut the fascia to the form I think it was going to work. I put some foam in there. Again, I started making a science project and said just knock it off. You can't really see, so it's not lined beautifully the whole way through, but it's good enough. And then I used some of the shaper sheet from Woodland Scenics in here because I didn't have any foam. I didn't feel like going out and buying more for this little thing here. So I used up scrap pieces where I could. Shaper sheet plaster, some of the plaster cloth to kind of tie it in. And then this is all going to be obviously covered with scenery and some trees, and probably similar to the area I did. Well, let me just slowly pan. I know it's dark, but similar to this. Maybe a little bit more detailed just because you will be able to walk right up to this, but probably has some of the MBR mats in here and low shrubs, not really gigantic trees here. And on this side, this comes into the tunnel on this end. Let me see if I can make it a little bit lighter here, a little bit. And this is obviously retaining wall. Comes along on both sides. This here will kind of form down and then slowly come down to level because it's going to match into the engine terminal. Then I matched in with the scenery there, and this will get all kinds of, you know, bushes, shrubs, deco grass and whatnot to kind of blend it all together. So that is that. That is that scene there. Again, I do apologize for not showing the in progress, but again, one of the dirty little secrets of this channel is, you know, I'm here. My main thrust is building the layout, not doing YouTube videos. I don't mean that to be mean or arrogant or anything like that, but I want to get this damn layout done. The videos are kind of yeah, I'm doing it as I go along, and I enjoy it, and I love the interaction with the subscribers and stuff, but if YouTube went away, I'd still make the layout. Sometimes I wonder, it seems people just do videos thinking they're going to be the next big YouTube thing. Anyway, that's that. So I'll let that set up, get the initial layer of paint and maybe some ground foam, then get the mats on it. And then I'll show a little bit more what I've done over there in Sharon. It's a mess. I really got to do some cleanup, but a lot of work's been done over there in Sharon. Actually, I have to go back and look at other segments to make sure I don't repeat myself. You can see how well organized these videos are. But okay, more to come. So got this layer here done. We'll keep pushing along, and like I said, try to get this darn layout finished. All right, a little bit of sort of an in progress here on the road, although it's mostly done. Again, this was made with the 2mm black craft foam that I think I got at Hobby Lobby or something like that. One of those, you know, Joann's or Michael's, that they all sell it, I think. And I like the way it works. I painted it up, got it striped. Now it needs a lot of scenery. And for the striping, I want to give a shout out. I'm not going to name names, but one of the subscribers had some leftover road striping. And I think after one of the earlier videos when I complained about my hatred, or at least the hatred of a Woodland Scenics pavement marking pen for me, because I can never get them to work. He sent me the stuff and said, hey, maybe someday you could use it. And I kept it, and I grabbed one of those stupid striping pens and got mad and threw it out because right away it didn't work for me. That must be a klutz. And thought, no, wait a minute. I got something from somebody, and sure enough, it worked great. So that's what the striping is. So thank you very much. Again, I'm not going to name names, but you probably know who you are, and I really do appreciate it, because it made it a lot easier. And they look nice, and they actually look straight. And although, in all honesty now, I'm going to be honest with you, I did a little bit of research on the late 1950s, and I don't think for certain that they had I call it the edge lines. I think they're called fog lines, if I read correctly in some of the stuff I was looking at. I don't think they came in until maybe the early 60s. So this might not be right, but I had started it, and what I was really trying to do some research on was the railroad crossing. And again, that came out of the kit that the gentleman sent me. It was a little bit, I had to use it a little bit differently because the vinyl wouldn't adhere real well, so I had to do some shenanigans to get it to work, but it worked, and then it's down. And then after I weathered the road and everything, I did come in with some matte varnish to help seal everything. I was doing research on what the crossing looks like, and that's pretty much what it looked like, even back in the late 40s, early 50s. So that's probably okay. But again, these edge lines might not be totally prototypical for my era, but And I really had no idea how they would have marked it here because of that weird right angle. And I'm not even sure where I'm going to put the cross bucks. Well, this side's easy. I did measure 10 feet back, which apparently was where that 2 foot wide heavy stripe is. So that I think is correct. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to put a cross buck here, because this is where as a driver you're going to come up. And I put 2 white lines there, 2 smaller lines. Maybe they stop there for when the train's coming. I don't know. Anyway. All right, so that's been done. And I did add street light here and one other one in the middle. Only 2. And that's really only because that's all I had. These are the Walthers plugins, I think they're called. I had them for years. 12 volt, which is perfect. That works exactly with what my 12 volt accessory bus is that I run under the layout. But only 2 of them, and I can't seem to find any more. I was going to put one here, maybe even here, there, and then down there at the corner. But I only had 2 of them. So I figured, all right, I'll just put 2 of them in. And I don't know if you can tell, but I did gouge out the back of the retaining wall behind that, because to mount these puppies you have to drill an 11/32 hole. Well, that's a pretty good size hole, pretty good size drill bit that it takes. And if you look at how close that is, yeah, trust me, there's no way you're getting your drill in there with a drill bit that's only about that long. Now if I went out and bought a $80 12-inch drill bit, yeah, but no. So what I did was I drilled a pilot hole from this side with a longer 1/8 bit that I had, and then went underneath and drilled up with the 11/32. And yeah, I came through and kind of gouged the wall in the back. So whatever. Rusted up. It looks like something that's the wall's starting to chip away and decay a little bit. So, but yeah, again, if I had planned better, I would have drilled that hole before I put this in, and maybe probably could have got it done. But it's just too close now. So, and then up here, I have some of the base scenery done. I did get the ballast done all the way around. Sorry, I'm jumping around so much here on this. I'm trying to keep things steady with the monopod and probably making it worse. But I did get all that ballast done. The more I look at it, I'm going to redo the scenery here and here. I just don't like it. Probably go back with some of the MBR mats or Martin Wilberg mats. It just looks, to me, so much nicer. So, but it's done. Up to the crossing. And that crossing is made with just some scale strip wood put in there, and then the foam cut in between there. And I did it that way so that the flanges don't ride on the foam, because the foam does try to ride up a little bit, even at 2mm. So this now needs, of course, the other scenery, along in here and along that little drainage ditch. I'll put some along the top here as well. But that'll be fun. That's the part that I enjoy. Get the ballast done on the track. Over here, sorry for the quick pan. And then get ready to work. Again, a pasture station is going to go here, and this road is going to continue in, and maybe even behind it to a tower That's part of the way the railroad gets access, as well as the people get into the station. So, all right, so that's in progress, and then we'll keep working along and see what we can do, where we can get to, what we can do. All right, crack on, let's go. Alrighty, gonna get this thing done and posted. So I got the first layer, the paint, and the initial, just a quick layer of ground foam down. Back here on the very back side, and up on that little hill. So now, what it all needs, both here and the other side, is the next layer of grass mats, wild grass, whatever I decide to go with. I'm not totally positive yet. But this is far enough along, and at least it isn't that real ugly white color. So, I'm going to call that okay for now. So we'll come back in and do some of the similar stuff with mats and grasses up all along here, and eventually trees up top there. And then this is going to start to get some other coverage other than that garish green for the factory area. And then the factory, I guess, it goes back in that corner there. Don't have that quite ready. Might throw a mock-up up just to get an idea. And over here, I slid the Erie builders back in place where it's roughly going to sit. So that's all complete. Well, not complete, but where it's going to go. I got to get it installed. The back retaining walls in. Still want to work on something for that far corner, but I have an idea. And again, this is all pretty much set up ready with the initial paint and ground foam layer. And again, hopefully I can do something down there in the front with that ugly green. And then this road area is done. Not done, but moved along. I got the lights wired up and they work. They're not super bright, but good enough. So like I said, still got to put some of the other scenery in here. So that's going to be the next update. We'll show how that goes. But this is the base layer done here. So now I can go ahead and play with this. I do have a whole bunch of mats. They just cleared customs from MBR coming in from Poland. I needed some more, so I ordered a bunch. It took a long time to get here, but they're close. Like I said, I might type in some comments, but allegedly Scenic Express will be carrying the MBR mats and trees and hopefully some bushes and shrubbery and a bunch of items. When I talked to Jim at the Berea train show, he had said a whole container was on the way of MBR items. It's supposed to be up in mid-November. Well, since it's almost December, I guess he's not going to meet that, but hopefully not too far away. So, alright, so get this up. This is it. Got these areas. Like I said, these are about 70% along. Keep pushing ahead and getting the other next layer of scenery on, and then maybe get this benchwork up and try it, see what it's going to look like. So, alright, more to come. Stay tuned. We'll keep plugging away here.